Hi guys, and I'm here today at the launch of the BYD Dolphin. This is the brand new C-segment hatchback, all electric from China. It goes on sale from as little as £26,000. So today we're going to look at the car, we're going to do a review. I'll take a look around the car, I'll look at the boot, I'll look at the interior, and of course we'll take it for a drive right after this.
A brown car guy. Brown car guy.
Right, so as I said, this is the BYD Dolphin. It's the new car from China. It comes in at under 30K, so that's quite crucial. Now this thing comes with a 60.4 kilowatt LFP, that's a lithium iron phosphate battery. It's called a blade battery, it's a new style of battery. I'll come back to that in a minute. No cobalt in this one. Gives you 265-mile range as standard on this car, although later on they will introduce a 44.9 kilowatt hour battery on the lower spec cars. That gives you about 211 miles or 193 miles depending on which spec you go for. Now BYD, they know a thing or two about batteries because they actually started as a battery manufacturer back in 1995. They make lots of other things as well. In fact, weirdly enough, half of all iPads are made by BYD. How weird is that? They only started making cars in about 2008, but just this year alone, in the first 6 months of this year, they've made 1.5 million vehicles that's electrified, so it's hybrid and electric only. In fact, so far in total, they've made 5 million vehicles worldwide. Now the BYD Dolphin, why Dolphin? Well, because this is the first in the Ocean series, which apparently adopts the ocean aesthetics. Now, I'll let you make your own mind up about the car, but apparently the side silhouette represents the graceful lines of a dolphin leaping. Okay, we'll go with that. But the two-tone thing is quite cool. And in fact, I would definitely get it in two-tone. There are the colors available, but the blue is quite nice. There's 7 colors already available and then 2 more coming. So you've got a big choice of colors in the palette there. Now for Europe, they've lengthened the car and manufactured the front of the car basically to improve crash safety. The car is actually now 4.3 meters long, pretty much, 1.8 meters wide and 1.6 meters tall. Now, like I said, that blade battery system, what's that all about? 2020 blade battery system. It's said to be safer, it's got longer life, and it utilizes 50% less space, for example. So it's more compact, it's better packaged. And in fact, one of the things they do with these batteries, because there's a lot of concern about the damage to the batteries and what they can do and can it set off a fire. Well, they do a nail penetration test where they literally ram a giant nail into these things. And this one has passed that with no problem whatsoever. So like I said, prices start from $26,195. They go up to $31,695 for this one. You get, the spec is active, that's from $26,000. Boost, comfort, design. This one is a design. It comes with everything that the Comfort has, but it gets a few extras. Now I'll put these prices on the screen, by the way. The Comfort also gets the panoramic roof, rear privacy glass. It gets a wireless smartphone charging. It gets these two-tone 17-inch alloy wheels. It gets VTOL. What's VTOL? Vehicle to load. So basically you can charge devices off the car. How cool is that? And that's about 3.3 kilowatt charge. Anyway, these are now being delivered. They're already on sale, so go check them out. They've got about 9 dealers that are coming up around the UK. Oh, a couple of other things I should mention. Front wheel drive. This one's got 204 brake horsepower, 310 Newton meters of torque. Does 0 to 62 miles per hour in 7 seconds. It will reach 99 miles per hour. And it's got a heat pump as standard. So what's the heat pump? It basically redistributes the heat as and where it's needed, taking it away from where it's not needed and supplying it to where it is. It's an industry first direct cooling and heating system to power the battery on this thing. Increases thermal efficiency by up to 15%. Cool, let's have a look.
Brown car guy.
Right, so let's take a look at the boot. Oh, it's not powered, it's completely manual. I suppose that's about right for this sort of car, isn't it? And then what you have here is a 345 litre boot. It goes up to 1,310 litres because it got 60/40 split folding rear seats. They say you can store 4 standard 20-inch suitcases in here. There's a tray here, so that's quite good. It's a rubberized tray, so that's quite good. And underneath here, of course, is a compartment. Oh, that's quite big, actually. That's actually quite a deep boot if you think about it. If you were to remove that, of course, the cables are down here, a little pocket there. But actually, that's quite a fair bit of room. And then, okay, it's not going back now. Oh, that's because I misaligned it. There you go. So it does fall back into place. So it's not too bad. Quite usable. About on par for this size of car. Let's see what the rear is like. Right, so let's get in to the Dolphin. Here we are, and look at these. See these door handles here? They're meant to be like the flippers or the fins of a dolphin. They have a very unique shape, kind of nice actually, and nice sort of all sort of curved and wavy. Sort of fits in the two-tone aspect. Fits in. Nice seats here. Let's move this headrest up so that's a lot better actually. And the full panoramic roof with hardened glass and sort of tinted as well is a standard on the top spec car, which is what this is. You get an armrest. In there you get cup holders. You obviously get the Isofix child seat anchor points. You get door pockets. Oh, 2 layers of door pockets. You get the smaller ones for your phones and your iPads, coming from a company that makes iPads. I guess they've got that in mind. I saw a slanted angle cup holder, 2 USB-C charging points, so that's quite good. What do I feel about the headroom? It's a little bit tight for me, if I'm honest. Don't forget, I'm 6'2". This seat is set for me. This is my driving position, and I'm 6'2" with longish legs. But it's okay. I mean, you know, not an issue. There's a little the top of the feet just a little bit tight there, but it's not too bad. Knee room, there's plenty. But headroom, I guess it's all right. It's all right, but it's just a little bit. I guess just I'm right on the limit there. But otherwise, it's not too bad. And with the panoramic roof, if you're claustrophobic, then this really helps to have that there. Right, great stuff back here. Let's try the front. Right then, so here we are inside the BYD Dolphin. That's what this car is, the BYD Dolphin. And look at the design here. I like this little red bits there. Look at the speaker interior there, the speaker cover there. There's a similar one down there. It's got this kind of thin, wavy thing that goes throughout the cabin. Look at this. Even here, you can see kind of a wave thing going on here. It's a very, very long, dash top here that goes on forever. I think you can put stuff down there really, because there's a little thing there that you could store stuff in. But then you've got these beautiful scooped out areas here, plastic, these sort of lines that sort of give it sort of dynamism. But look at these fin shapes here. I mean, again, that dolphin sort of thing. This is textured. This is also geometric patterns there. These really help. So in here you've got, the 2 big screens. Let me tell you a few things about the car. Oh, it's black and grey. So this one is quite nice. It's got the blue and grey. But as standard on these cars, very soon you will get the black and grey leather, vegan leather interior, I should say. This is vegan leather. It's a 12.8 inch touchscreen. Let's turn it on. The button is here. So there you go. That comes on there. As you can see, there's the startup routine there. 6-way electric adjustment for the driver, 4-way for front passenger. There's 20 storage spaces in here apparently. We've got a load of driver safety system, forward collision warning, autonomous emergency braking, rear collision warning, rear cross traffic alert, then rear cross traffic brake as well, lane departure prevention, lane keep assist, 6-speaker stereo, adaptive cruise control, intelligent cruise control, 360-degree camera, blind spot detection, stability control, traction control, hill descent control, auto vehicle hold, traffic sign recognition, speed limit control, high beam assist, adaptive front led lights, and a lot of this stuff is on this top spec version. We got the top spec version obviously gets the wireless charger, which is that bit there. So it just come on, as you can see, that's come on straight away. Although it does have obviously down here, there is the full complement of cables as well, plugs. And then of course you've actually got an extra storage capacity there as well, just underneath here. So that's quite good. So there isn't a glove box here. I mean, there isn't a cubby box here, but there is, maybe if I go upside down, you might be able to see a bit better. But there is a storage compartment down there, glove box with a textured sort of thing to it, but quite a deep, reasonably sized glove box. We've got, now this is interesting because let's get the fan. Oh, I see. So this is all your system for that. Now this screen itself, you can configure. Yeah, so that's really come on now. And you can actually got buttons on here. So this is your cruise control and everything. This is your infotainment system. That's your main screen that shows you the speed, your range, your charge, and all the rest of it, indicators, wipers. This button here, this button gives you the camera all round, which you get. It's a 360 camera. This button here actually rotates the screen. That's cool, isn't it? And actually you can do that from here as well. So that's quite good. This is weird because this is actually your gear lever. So that is up and you get reverse, when you get the camera. And you push it down you get drive, so that goes D. And then on the side here, you've got your park button. And then you've got the modes, so sport, eco and normal. We'll leave it in normal for now. And I think this is the regen, standard and high. That's your climate and etc. That's your volume control there. So you actually got a big knob there for volume. That's quite good, isn't it? Down here we've got another compartment just underneath here. So that's quite handy in addition to that. Parking brake, traction, etc, etc. And all your window switches and stuff. So that's all pretty good. Right then, let's take it for a drive. Right then, so let's take this for a drive. This is very odd. Is that drive? That is drive. And off we go. So I've got this hooked up to my phone so I can use the Apple CarPlay. So I've got a designated route that I'm going to be doing. So as we set off, I should say I've got 98% range showing, 260 mile range showing. At the moment the odometer is on 514 miles, so we'll see how we get on. And obviously then it shows me the range, how much power I'm using, 5 kilowatt, 10 kilowatt showing me there, and the speed. There's a tiny little digital screen in front of me, but there's a big screen here, tiny screen there. And we'll see how we get on with the range as we drive this route. Hey BYD, can you set temperature to 17
Say
degrees?
that again?
Can you
repeat that?
Can you set temperature to 17 degrees?
All right, the temperature is set to 17 degrees.
Nice road, so let's go. What are we in? Now this is on map. Thing is, like, you can actually talk to this car, so that's quite handy. So this thing, one thing I've found, actually, let's go up into sports mode, because we've got eco, sport, normal. We'll go into sports mode. And one thing I found is that the lane keeper on this has been very aggressive. So, see, there again, and it actually takes the wheel out of your hand. Hey BYD, can you turn off lane keep assist?
Unfortunately, I can't help you with that yet.
Okay, I guess I have to put up with it until I can figure out how. There's a button here on the steering wheel that looked like it's to do with the steering, but when I pressed that, it just turned on the cruise control, the active intelligent cruise control as they call it on this car. So that wasn't the one I was looking for. But anyway, we picked up some speed now. It's in sports mode and doing very well. A little bit of buffeting. Just feels like, and I was expecting it to be a little bit more planted, seeing that it is a hatchback. It's got a low center of gravity, but so I just wanted it to be a little bit more planted, but actually it's okay. I mean, throwing into a corner now, I mean, actually, yeah, quick braking. Oh, it's actually quite nice, you know. Quick braking, turn-in was very good, and then straight onto the accelerator, and it stabilized straight away. So very little body movement, having said that. So that's not so bad. So actually, here's another corner. So onto the brakes, turn it in, accelerate, no problem at all. Actually, you know, I was compensating for expected understeer, but I didn't get it there. So actually, it's pretty neutral in terms of, also on the sweeping bits, there's a little bit of understeer, just a hint of understeer there. But on the slower corners, it's actually pretty tight. So far so good. It's got a lot of systems on the car. So one of the things it's got on it is the speed limit alert. So obviously it's got traffic signal with traffic sign recognition and stuff like that. So it just gives you a couple of beeps every time you go over the limit. It tells you beeps, and then it just stops beeping after a while to let you know what you're doing. Not that I'm breaking the speed limit. I'm doing 60 on a 60 road right now. But just if you go over a little bit, that's what happens. You know, the amount of regen. I've got it on high. So if I lift off, I mean that's a fair bit of slowing down. Let me change that, standard, and then lift off, and then it's coasting. Yeah, so that's what it is. So basically it's not so much one pedal mode, as what it does is there's a little bit 2 levels of regen there that it gives you. It's very quiet, little bit of wind noise just coming out of here somewhere. It might just be from the mirrors. Road roar is very quiet. It's no squeaks, no rattles, obviously. Very well put together. Feels very tight. And that low center of gravity really kind of pulls it down, which is why, I expect it to be even more planted than it is. But, quite, and there isn't the stiffness. There's a rigidity to it. But very often, if you've seen my other reviews of electric cars, I've often said that, you feel a kind of stiffness because of the platform. But actually this one, it's not so bad. It feels firm, but it doesn't feel like ungiving, sort of thing. So now we're in town. We're doing a lower speed. Oh, Citroen 2CV. How cool is that? And one of the things you do get is you get this kind of whining noise from it, which seems to have some sort of character. I'm wondering if they're going for like a sort of dolphin-y kind of sound or something like that. But it seems to have a little bit of personality. Just, can you hear that? It's that sort of thing that it does. I suppose it's kind of cute. I don't know if there's a way of switching it on or off. One thing I really would like to switch off is that steering assist, that's for sure. Driving position so far has been very good. There's a good footrest there. That's all quite good. You can hear that. Even when I'm not moving, it's woo. And then when you move, it's like woo. It's like manufacturers are still trying to figure out how to compensate for the lack of sound, or the lack of engine noise, I should say, rather. There obviously is a kind of sound, but engine noise. So in these city streets, relatively easy to place. It's a smallish car. You don't really see the bonnet. It's just completely dips out of view. But having said that, the windscreen has got C-pillars. It's got not C-pillar. It's got like sort of the quarter lights in the front A-pillar, I should say, which gives it a little bit more visibility there, because the A-pillars themselves are quite thick. So that C-pillar is quite welcome, but it goes way ahead. It's a little bit like, like you would think of an MPV. So the A-pillar just goes way out the front, swooping down into the front of the car. So you don't really see what the front of the car is, but you're easy to place the sides of the cars because you can see where the pillars are. Rear visibility hasn't been a problem. It's got 360 camera on this thing as well, which I'm sure for parking and stuff like that would be helpful. I think it's probably got a parking feature as well. But so far, so good. Climate control, again, there are knobs, these buttons down here. I actually haven't used them because I simply just asked BYD. I literally just spoke to it and said, can you set the temperature at this? And it just did it. So that's quite handy. So let's just gun it now that we come to the black stripes. Oh, it took a few seconds there. It took a few moments there. Let me just do that again, because something interesting happened. So really slow down. Nobody behind me. Woo! And literally stump on it. So it takes a few hints of a second there, and then it basically spins its wheels, which I was not expecting that. It basically does, a burnout, a mini burnout at the front as it accelerates. So that's quite amusing. And you get a little bit of squirming. Oh my God, that lane keep thing is really, I have to say, it's really annoying me. So it does a little squirmy thing, but then it just kind of grips and goes. But it does do a wheel spinny thing. And then this is just, again, the warning beeps are for the road markings that it's picking up and stuff like that. Now we're on some nice bits of twisty road here, and car is holding very well. The steering is reasonably well weighted. No feel, of course, through it. Now I'm not sure if the mode actually had it. Yeah, the steering seemed to lighten there. That's interesting. Yeah, it felt like it lightened. So again, if I just go back into sports, slight weighting of the steering there. That's for sure. I'm not sure that there's a huge amount of difference in the delivery. Again, if I go to normal and punch it, I mean, it took just a few fractions of a second there, and then it kind of did a sort of kick down sensation. Of course, there's 1-speed transmission, no kick down. So go back into sport, and it's a bit more linear in sport, so it's a bit more instant. But good acceleration, that's for sure. I mean, plenty of speed here, plenty of performance. Again, with these electric cars, not really an issue. I'm exploiting that performance. Obviously, some nice roads now, so I'm getting an opportunity to exploit some of that performance. And what have we got now? So we're down to 91%. We've done about, from start, I would say 16, 17 miles. And the range is 243 now. Right, so let's just see. So I'm in home now. Actually, I wonder if I can, there you go. It does rotate. And once I've rotated, temperature, home, car, vehicle. Vehicle, okay. Driver assist system settings. Okay, that doesn't do anything. Intelligent cruise control. Vehicle settings. Steering mode, sport. Okay, so from here you can actually configure the steering mode and the brake assist mode. Brake assist mode is now in sport. So if I put it into normal, does it change? No. Interesting. So it's sport here. Okay, fine. And then ADAS, which is driver assistance systems. Driving assist. Driver attention warning. Child presence detection. Interesting. Traffic sign lane support. And then you have lane departure assist. Alert mode. I'm going to turn off. I've turned it off now. Emergency lane keeping assist. Well, I've turned them both off now. Okay, so that should be okay. Right. So let's go back to home. And so how do we get back into Apple CarPlay? Oh, so it turns for that one. Oh, I see. So for Apple CarPlay, it likes to be like that. So I get back into my maps, and here we go. Okay, so that should... it's funny because I push it up, and actually it's pushed down to get drive mode. Wandering right over the lane, no problem at all. So now it's in my command now, rather than the steering taking over. So that should be a lot better. Things I found with the brakes, so braking here, it's quite linear, it's quite good. And again, with a lot of these cars, because they're using the motor to brake, there's a slightly different feel, especially at lower speeds. So there's a little bit of a sensation there that it's doing something else, but nothing alarming. The braking is quite linear. As you saw, there was a setting there for brake sport or comfort. It's in sport, actually, incidentally, but it feels fine, not an issue at all. And I like the steering with the increased weighting. So I'll leave it in sports for now, and we'll see how we get on. Just in terms of the modes, what I've noticed is that sports mode is the best mode really to drive it on if you like to really use that torque. But what happens in eco mode especially is that it kind of becomes quite sluggish, on the accelerator. And normal is generally okay, but sport is fun. But I guess for around town driving, for most normal driving, eco would be fine, normal would be okay. But if you're out here and you're trying to really enjoy the car, definitely switch it into sports. The only other thing I would say is that it does have a tendency, the systems have a tendency, as we've seen with the lane keep, but also with the auto braking and stuff, to be overly eager. So just familiarize yourself with all the settings before you set off, so that if you want to turn any of those systems on, the ADAS systems, then you can do so. Right then, so 47 miles or so in, we're down to 78%. That's not too bad. It's still showing 208 miles. So actually, it was fairly accurate in terms of the mileage that it's been showing us. So that's not too bad. So overall then, I mean, actually, to be honest, I've been quite enjoying it now. Once you start getting used to it and stuff like that. Putting everything into sports, and after, of course, I turned off the lane keep assist stuff. An interesting thing, you have to actually turn it off again once you get back into the car. So it defaults back to on, and you have to go back into the system and turn it off again. But other than that, it's been proving to be quite, there's a nice series of S-bends coming up here, and fair bit of speed carried into that. Good on the brakes, turning in, oh nice. So yeah, really, really cool. Turns in sharp, holds the road, no problem at all. The brake pedal, I mean, like I said, a little bit of, you can get a strange sort of vibration through it, but nice one, just easing out, accelerating up over that crest, no issue whatsoever. Actually really, really good. again, holds on well, it gives a fair amount of communication in terms of what's going on with the car. So actually, could it be a sporty little thing? I think it could actually. I think it could be a little bit, you know, find some nice roads, check it around. It really likes to throw its torque on the ground. That's a fun aspect of what it does. It overwhelms its own stability systems, traction systems, and goes, right, you want torque, I'll give you torque. And then it does a little wheel spinny thing and off it goes. So yeah, generally, it's not only a very easy car to drive, an easy car it seems to live with and to use, but also quite an enjoyable car when you get it out onto some nice roads and you get a chance to really bury that that right switch. Can we still call them pedals? Right pedal, if you like, you know, and see what it can do. I like to keep it in the high mode for the regen, and I'm keeping it in sports mode with the steering and everything set to sport. So not bad at all. So overall then, what do I think of the car? I think, you know, it's another good offering in the EV segment, especially coming in at that low price point, because that's where there's a real lack of good cars on the new market. And, you know, when you think for, you know, 350 pounds a month, you can have something like this. Obviously, after you pay the initial deposit, then it's not a bad deal really if you want to make that move to electric cars, if the electric cars work for you, and ideally if you can charge them at home, then, you know, there's no reason why they shouldn't. So in that sense, I think it's another great offering. It's definitely one to put on the shopping list. Well, I mean, to be honest, it's not a big shopping list when it comes to electric cars that start from under £30,000. It's not a huge list there, so this is one that can go onto there, and actually it's quite handy. So take a look at it, take it for a test drive. I think it's a great offering. It's got a little bit of a quirky character. It's got these sort of nice little Dolphin-esque touches and a little bit of personality that they're trying to inject into the car. And that's always very welcome and very nice as well. So I think two key things it's got going for that low price point and also that slight quirkiness that it's got just in terms of its personality. So there you go. Have a look at the car. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Brown car guy.
Hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please hit the like button and share this video as well if you can. And while you're at it, check out these guys who also sponsor my content. I am deeply grateful to them because it helps me to buy new equipment, put fuel in the cars, and yes, buy a cup of coffee. You can do the same. Just go here or right here on YouTube. Just hit these three little dots down here and click on thanks. Make sure you're signed in first. My content is free, but this is how you can help me keep it that way. I may even send you a gift. Oh, by the way, watch this next.